Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest questions for any leader out there. How do you manage and how do you survive in the age of AI? This isn't just about understanding the tech, it's about leading through it, ethically.
All right, let's just start with a quote that should probably make the hair on your arms stand up. The idea is simple. If an AI can manage schedules, track productivity, and optimize workflows better and faster than a person, what are you actually for? This isn't some far-off future. This is the question on the table right now.
You see, you're getting squeezed from two different directions. On one hand, AI is making a lot of traditional management tasks, well, kind of obsolete. It's just more efficient. And this is all happening at the exact same time that public trust in technology is getting shaky. So you're being asked to use more powerful tools in a world that's more skeptical of them than ever before.
Now, when you first see this number, you might think, okay, 76%, that's not bad. 76% of people say they generally trust the tech sector. That sounds pretty solid, doesn't it? But here's the thing about that trust. It's incredibly fragile.
The second you get specific, that 76% just nosedives. Talk about social media algorithms or AI surveillance, and that trust completely evaporates. This creates what the source material calls a vicious cycle of distrust. Every time a company messes up with AI, it just confirms everyone's worst fears, making your job even harder.
So how do you stay relevant? You evolve. You have to become what's being called a research-based manager. This is all about leaning into the skills that AI just can't touch. Things like generating new ideas, understanding the human context behind the data, and, this is the big one, acting as the ethical circuit breaker when the tech goes too far.
Here's a perfect example of this in action. A jewelry factory in Mumbai could install AI cameras to track every single move a worker makes, right? The promise is a massive cut in non-productive time. But the trap is, you create this digital prison, a panopticon, that just crushes morale. The research-based manager, they took a different route. They used the exact same data not to punish workers for taking a 5-minute break, but to find out why work was stopping. Maybe a machine kept jamming. That is the difference. You use AI to help your people, not just to watch them.
And look, this mindset doesn't just apply to one factory floor. This scales all the way up to the executive suite. Every leader at every level hits these ethical crossroads. And the choice you make between a quick profit and a core principle, well, that's what's going to define your company's entire future. Let's look at some really high-stakes examples.
So, on one side, you've got Merck, the pharma giant. They developed a cure for a horrible disease, but it only affected the world's poorest people. Literally, a market with zero money. On the other side, you've got Indigo Airlines. They were a huge player in their market, and they were facing new safety rules to stop pilots from getting exhausted. Two companies, two very different choices to make.
So what did Merck do? It's pretty amazing, actually. Back in 1987, their CEO decided they would just give the drug away, for free, for as long as it took to wipe out river blindness. They've since donated over 4.4 billion treatments. The result? The disease is gone in 4 countries, a scientist on the team won a Nobel Prize, and for decades, Merck became the place where the best talent wanted to work.
And Indigo? They decided to just ignore the new safety rules. What happened? A complete operational meltdown. They had to cancel over 550 flights in a single day. The fallout from that was a stock market plunge that wiped out about $2.4 billion of their value. The lesson here is so clear. Ethics isn't an expense. Ignoring ethics is.
But it's not always so black and white, right? Let's look at a more complex leadership style, the survivalist. This connects two titans of industry, Andrew Grove from Intel and Albert Bourla from Pfizer. Both men were shaped by something unimaginable, surviving the Holocaust as children.
Grove's motto was "Only the paranoid survive," and it arguably saved Intel. Bourla had that same relentless, almost paranoid drive to get the COVID vaccine done, and he did it in record time. But that survival instinct can have a dark side. In the vaccine negotiations, Pfizer was accused of demanding that countries like Argentina and Brazil pledge sovereign assets, we're talking embassy buildings, military bases, as collateral just in case they got sued. I mean, it was an unbelievable success, but it came at a huge cost to their reputation.
Okay, so we've looked at the big philosophical dilemmas. Let's get practical now. How do you actually do this? What are the tools you need to have in your manager's toolkit to make sure you're deploying AI responsibly?
Put yourself in this situation. You're running a factory in Malaysia. A supervisor assaults an employee. Now, local law says the victim can just take a payout, and the whole thing goes away. But your global company policy is absolute zero tolerance for violence. What's the call? What do you enforce?
This isn't a hypothetical. It actually happened to Motorola, and their decision was incredibly tough and expensive. They stuck to their universal standard. They fired the supervisor for the assault, but then they also had to terminate the victim and paid significant compensation to both of them. It shows that standing by universal ethic isn't just talk. It often comes with a very real price tag.
Now let's talk about the biggest technical problem you're going to face, the black box. This is when your AI model makes a decision, but nobody, not even the super smart engineers who built it, can really explain why. We've seen this before, right? Amazon's hiring tool that taught itself to be sexist, or the Apple Card giving husbands 20 times the credit limit of their wives. If you can't explain a decision, you can't defend it. Period.
But the good news is we have tools to crack open that box. As a manager, you just need to know two names, Lime and Shap. The easy way to think about it is this. Lime helps you answer a very specific question like, why did this one person get their loan denied? And Shap gives you the big picture like, what are the top 3 reasons we deny loans in general? Demanding these tools is how you move from just being liable to being truly accountable.
Okay, let's zoom out one last time, because your responsibility here actually goes way beyond the walls of your company. Your job isn't just to manage AI, it's to help protect society from its misuse, especially when it comes to disinformation.
And this is not a drill. This is happening right now. Not long ago, a deepfake video of the leader of Burkina Faso went viral. It showed him announcing a totally fake economic deal with India. Think about it. In parts of the world where digital literacy is low, a high-quality video like that is basically a geopolitical weapon. It's impossible to tell it's fake.
The source material uses this really stark metaphor. It says the general public is like a herd, totally vulnerable to this kind of AI-powered manipulation. And that means the duty to build the safeguards to protect people falls on the AI elite. That's the technologists and managers. That's you. It's an enormous responsibility.
So, let's bring it all together. We've basically seen 4 paths a leader can take. There's the humanitarian, like Merck, who built a lasting legacy. There's the opportunist, like Indigo, who chose a shortcut and crashed. You've got the survivalists, like Pfizer, a huge success but with a trail of damage. And the systemic reformer, like Bayer, who actually fixed a child labor problem by investing in the whole community. Every choice had a real, tangible outcome.
So what does this all mean for you? It means ethical leadership isn't just some vague, nice-to-have idea. It's a checklist. It means you have to actually budget for ethics, treat it like an investment. It means you refuse, point blank, to ever deploy a black box AI. It means you get real consent, not just hide behind pages of legal text. And you always keep a human in the loop for that final judgment call. This isn't a burden. This is your new license to lead.
Because in the end, it really comes down to this. Your algorithms are just going to be a mirror. They'll reflect the character and the culture that you build into your organization. It's not about the code, it's about your choices. So the final question is for you. When you get to your next crossroads, what choice are you going to make?